lovely followers. So today is Wednesday, so this is my Wednesday Wattpad update. Basically where I am with my Wattpad writing right now is that I am working on the last maybe 4 or 5 chapters of Maybe I Am a Stalker. The next, hold on, there are children. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. That's just life. So yes, I'm working on the last 4 or 5 chapters of Maybe I Am a Stalker. The next chapter will be going up on Friday. Immediately after that, as I said before, I'm going to roll into the other POV stories. I have a couple of stories that are still on hold. They're going to be on hold until I get the current projects finished. Also, I have some new stuff outside of Wattpad that I'm working on, so I'm going to continue to update on Wattpad every Friday. However, those other stories may have to stay on hold for just a little bit. So I realized in the last Wattpad updates that I posted, I forgot to include the tip because I had meant to include like 1 writing tip with every video. So I'm just going to do 3 tips today to catch up, and then I can continue from there. So my tips for today are this. First of all, I think I mentioned this before, Wattpad is social. So if you're wanting to use Wattpad to grow your writing platform, to you know, build a following, that kind of thing, just keep in mind that Wattpad is primarily a social network. So yes, it has content. However, relationships are really key to building a following. Make sure you're interacting with your readers, you're responding to messages, you are thanking people for reading your story, go and read other people's stories, comment on theirs, build relationships. That's really key. The second tip is to be consistent. So if you're a reader, you know this for sure. It's helpful to know when your favorite authors are going to post updates. So create a schedule and then stick to it. If you said you're going to deliver something on Friday, make sure you actually post that on Friday. This is something that I do, and sometimes it's hard, and sometimes I don't post it Friday morning. Sometimes it happens like Friday night. But if I said I'm going to post an update on Friday, I post one on Friday. This is important to me because my commitment to my readers is important to me. And so I don't make promises that I can't fulfill. But I also make sure that I am letting them know my updating schedule and being consistent with it. And if I'm going to take a break from the updating schedule, then I communicate that because, again, relationships. Okay, so the third tip is this. Your story doesn't have to be perfect to be posted. However, it does need to be polished a little bit. So while Wattpad is very forgiving of works in progress, so some small grammar errors, things that need to be changed, most readers realize, especially if you state this in the beginning in like an author's note, most readers realize that Wattpad stories are often works in progress. However, a reader will quickly become frustrated if your story is full of grammatical errors, or you have partial chapters, or your character development is really flat because you just haven't worked on it much yet. Those things are going to lose you readers. So if it's worth posting on Wattpad, then it's worth putting in the effort up front to make it a solid first draft. And it can be a first draft. Most of mine that I post are first drafts. But make it a good first draft. Put in the time and the attention to give it the substance and give it a quality that is going to draw readers in. You can always go back and edit it and perfect it later. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be quality first draft. So those are my 3 tips for today, and then starting next week I'll just be doing 1 per week if I remember. So look out for my next update on Maybe I Am a Stalker coming this Friday. It's going to be a really interesting chapter. This past week's chapter was my big exciting chapter that I've been waiting to write for this whole story basically. But this week's chapter is the follow-up to that, and so it's going to be a perspective that was not seen in the original story, so make sure you check that out. Thank you for watching, thank you for following me, And I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye!